So Mark, now we're going to go over some numbers for the Innisfil market. What are you seeing there? It's a bit different than Barrie, isn't it?
It is. Inventory. Let me open up my email too. We'll go through some number stuff and put that to bed. But yeah, inventory is a little bit higher for days on market a little bit, but they have more product. So give me 1 second. Right now, based on today's inventory, right now they have, based on August sales, they have about 5 months worth of supply. But what kind of, it's the opposite of Barrie on what the mix of price points are selling. So we know in Barrie that 9% of the market is selling over $1 million. In Innisfil, we're seeing 33% of the inventory selling over $1 million. Kind of crazy. Opposite of Barrie, and it's only 5 minutes down the road.
Right. And that's the thing in Innisfil, because I lived there for like 23 years. Innisfil is higher priced than Barrie, and they have a lot of new developments and new builds, where Barrie's new builds seem to be tending on the stacked townhouses. Innisfil is focused more on detached, 9-foot ceiling, hardwood floor, beautiful homes. So the price range there is way higher.
It is. And I'm shocked they got a bit of supply, but and looking at that million and over, some are selling in 5-6 days, some are taking 50 days, some are taking 30 days. So not bad. But the lower stuff too, I'm seeing some decent value in that low price points are going, they only got that for it. So pretty up par at Barrie in the lower price points, I think what the buyer is looking for, and going, holy cow, we should have got more than that. So what else I want to go over?
Well, I've been looking in Innisfil for clients, and like a lot of them are on the market a long time.
Absolutely. Where that buyer's just not buying that property, and there's a little bit more product available too, right? And again, you look at Innisfil, like you just said, a lot of newness and a lot of new subdivisions, younger areas, right? Nicely upgraded. Where we don't have that in that $1 million price. We don't have when's the last time we seen a new subdivision? Maybe in Arda, last 2 years.
But not even big, like not even a lot of homes. In Innisfil, there's 2 or 3 builders going there in different spots.
Yeah.
There's the one off the 6th line, then there's the one off in Innisfil off the 20th side road. That whole brand new big subdivision near Benson got extended out there, and those are beautiful homes. And then Country Homes is still going off the Webster area. So like there's 3 or 4, and I think San Diego, I can't remember what they're called now, down off the 7th where I used to live on Booth, they're going over there, and their bungalows are going for like $1.8 million, Mark. They're gorgeous.
I know, and I've seen one sold. We'll go through that one. But let me go through these numbers real quickly. So 39 properties sold under $1 million in Innisfil, which counts for 68% of the market. 18 sold over $1 million, 32%. Total sales for August were 53, compared to July was 67, and a lot more supply in that community than we're seeing in Barrie right now. So, and I don't know, it's kind of weird because both of those markets are kind of North York driven, Toronto driven, but a little bit more supply. I don't know. It's funnier than Innisfil than it is right now in Barrie.
And I've always found that, because I've done a lot in Innisfil, that Innisfil always takes longer to sell, but the price point is also higher.
It is. And, we look at some of these. So if we go back, when I won't flip this back, but when there's also a lot of these active listings showing vacant land. So, again, they take some time to sell right now. Not many people are buying these lots right now and building due to the cost of materials, et cetera, and labor. But, that accounts for some of it too. But we kind of see, I'm not going to look at the 3 because these are all mobile homes and stuff like that. But we kind of look like a detached, Innisfil, 758, 750. We go to a 2-story, 689 on Coleman, 690 Sal, Ashwood.
That's a townhouse.
Oh, so that's a townhouse. Sorry, 690. And then you got detached 605. So there's some, lower price points. But remember, we were in Barrie, we were looking at, there was 3 or 4 pages under 7. Here, there's
Yes.
like, 15 listings, right? So
Yeah.
really a lot of lower price points and again, bigger market too. But, we see that the numbers jump up very, very quickly. But, a nice looking townhouse here, 775, 780. Nice, 6 line, 15 to 2,000 square feet.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I mean. These things are beautiful, right? Like
right.
they have so many brand new builds
Yep.
that are beautiful there,
Yep.
where we don't have, we have like one or two little streets of townhouses like this in Barrie. We don't even have them.
We don't. We don't. We have some on, whereas urban towns are some nice big ones. Greer, some nice big ones.
But
That's
there's fees.
in urban towns, but over in Greer, that area, I don't think there is. I didn't see any yet, but who knows? They could be, left that part out. But they're selling for big bucks over there, but they're also big, and I bet there's a good market for, a 2,000 square foot townhome.
Yeah.
We don't see them more in Innisfil than we do here.
Well, yeah, like I said, the building there is just kind of taken off. So there's there's the choices are greater. There's more inventory, but it's also way more money.
Way more money, right? And if you look at some of the $1 million ones here, we'll look at days on market, 41 million, 1.1, 1,040,000. And just see some history, see if we can find something. Suspended. So I gotta put this down. So back in May, yeah, a little too high. So that's only one, but that's typical kind of what we're kind of seeing a little bit that we saw in Barrie already, right? It's not some of these homes aren't turning over in 15, 20 days. But some are in Innisfil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terminated 999. So we know right there, you can take this one.
They tried to get a bidding war. Yeah,
right.
they listed at 999. They tried to get a bidding war. Now, listen, they might have got offers. Like most of the bidding wars and the agents I've talked to, they get an offer, but not high enough.
Not high enough.
So then they cancel and relist it at what they wanted.
Got it. Tompkins, 77 day market. And the pattern's the same a little bit, right? Terminated 1.2. Again, bidding war, same kind of thing. So keep going through that. But, it's taken some time to sell those type of properties, right?
So the sales in Innisfil are higher, but it's still taking a long time.
It's still taking a long time. 100% it is, right? And there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of townhomes listed down there, a lot of lower price points, right? Again, more inventory in Barrie, 10 minutes north. But
Innisfil doesn't have, and I know it sounds kind of silly, they don't have a lot of turnover. So like when I lived there, people lived there and stayed in their houses for 20, 25, 30 years. Like if you had a nice big lot, even if your house was a little bit smaller, like you liked it, and they're in the lower price ranges, that's what it is. It's the older homes that have been there for a while. Nobody leaves there. No. Now we're seeing, like you see, a lot of these are newer builds, right?
Newer builds, right? Newer builds for sure, right? And and even back, if we back that up, even say, I don't know, 8 to 10 years ago, we were seeing all those small little rinky-dink cottages being, turned over, right?
Yeah.
People bought them, bulldoze them down, put, new structures on them, or, they were, I remember, you pick one of those up for $250 easy. And then 5 years later, the things were $6. Like they just ballooned if you could even find one. So hard to find that little, and they had some decent lot sizes with them too.
Well, this is the thing, because in Innisfil, most of them years ago were all septics. So they had the big lots to accommodate the septic tank.
Yep.
And, a lot of builders were just pushing them over. And I know an agent from Toronto who came up here, did that. And now all his agent friends are doing the same thing. They're coming up, they're buying the smaller ones, and they're all living around the water now.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Here's one on Victoria Street in Cookstown, because you mentioned 1.8, so I wanted to bring that one up. Beautiful home, took 84 days to sell. And if I do the add history on it, I bet it's even longer, but maybe not. Terminated, yeah. So they've been trying to sell this since last year. But this is for that kind of price point, I'm sure you got a gorgeous, beautiful stonework. No, I'm just gonna put photos because I know what's gonna happen. Looks like got a basketball court out there, big kitchen.
Gorgeous.
Nice. It's gorgeous home. Right.
I gotta say one thing for Innisfil. I'm very impressed with the quality of homes. Like, there's a lot of homes that are that nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that Edmonton way always does well. Like here's, only 2 days in the market. They come out 80K. I mean, that's a monster home. I'm only going to return the photos because it's like, look at the kitchen. Let's see if there's a lot.
Gorgeous, right?
Like beautiful, beautiful property. And they took like stunning.
Look at the wood. Look at the thing they did on the ceiling.
Yeah, I love that. Geez, that just gave me some ideas, Diane.
Yeah, they did that wood, like a coffered ceiling, but they used the wood and put the pot lights in it.
Isn't that nice, eh?
Yeah.
So real nice home, but why did 80K? That's a big jump off, especially being like 2 days in the market. Oh, sorry. Back in June. So there's the history, right? They found, and we see that, right? 1.5, sell for 1.3, started way back in June, nothing. How many times have we seen seller frustration come into the game? Often.
You know what? It's very hard as an agent to deal with that as well.
It is.
Because, yeah, they're frustrated and you wanted to sell and they wanted to sell and we all wanted to sell.
Yep.
And that home is gorgeous.
Oh, I'm going to go back to the kitchen because I just love what they like. Oh shit, that's exactly like beautifully done.
Do you also notice that back wall? Like when I look at pictures, I really look at everything. There's huge amount of storage in there, but they did the whole back wall windows. That is probably, I have that at my house. It's an 8-foot sliding door instead of a 6.
Massive, eh?
Massive. And then they have the window over there. Like, so the whole back of the house is bright and light. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely. And I love how they did that all the way around.
Well, do you notice that they put a window in the kitchen and only have lowers, and the uppers they use pantry on the other side?
Yeah.
Which traditionally you wouldn't do that, right? You would have uppers all the way around, but they didn't do that to allow more light.
Oh yeah, it looks so good.
It does. Really, and that's the thing, like in Barrie, probably 25-30 years ago was the last time we had subdivisions made
100%. Minimum 20
like that. And the problem is, because I've looked in Barrie for houses like that, you don't get the 9-foot ceilings 25-30 years ago. You don't get the open concept. You walk in the house, there's a dining room on one side, a living room on the other, and the kitchen's at the back.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Well, I think we've done enough.
I think we have. We've covered Innisfil.
Yeah, I think we did. And I think it's, the opposite of Barrie, but hey, fall's going to tell the story.
Yep.
Okay. See ya.
See ya.